You know what really gets me? People spend 8, 10, sometimes $15 on a bottle of chemical drain cleaner, pour it down a slow drain, and then 2 weeks later they're right back where they started. And eventually they call a plumber who charges them $200 to do something you can do yourself for about $1. I'm going to show you exactly how to clear any clogged drain in your house, step by step, and more importantly, how to keep it clear permanently so you never deal with this problem again. Plus, stick around to the end because I've got a free habit you can start today that prevents about 90% of clogs from ever forming in the first place. Let's get into it. Clearing a clogged drain is honestly one of the easiest plumbing skills you can pick up. And once you learn what I'm about to show you, you'll wonder why you ever wasted money on anything else. The trick is understanding what's actually causing the problem, using the right simple tool, and then following up with a maintenance routine that costs you pennies. So let's start with why your drains clog in the first place. Here's what's really going on inside your pipes. In the bathroom, the number one culprit is hair. Hair wraps around the drain crossbar, which is that little metal cross piece sitting right inside your drain opening. Once a few strands catch, they act like a net, grabbing soap scum, toothpaste residue, dead skin cells, and everything else that washes down. Before long, you've got a thick, gunky mass sitting about 2 to 4 inches below the drain opening, and your water is barely trickling through. In the kitchen, it's a little different. You're dealing with grease, food particles, and soap buildup. Grease goes down as a liquid, but cools and solidifies inside the pipe. And then food particles stick to it like flies on tape. Now here's what the big drain cleaner companies don't want you to know. Those chemical cleaners, the ones with all the scary warnings on the back, they only dissolve part of the clog. They eat a small channel through the middle, water starts flowing again, and you think the problem is solved. But the bulk of that buildup is still clinging to the pipe walls, and it starts collecting new debris immediately. That's why the clog comes back every couple of weeks. Worse, those chemicals can damage older pipes. If you've got a home built before 1980, there's a good chance you have cast iron or galvanized steel drain lines, and harsh chemical cleaners eat away at those pipes from the inside. You're literally paying money to destroy your own plumbing. So let's talk about what actually works. The tool you need costs about $1, sometimes even less. It's called a drain strip or a zip-it tool. You can find them at any hardware store, most dollar stores, and even some grocery stores. It's just a thin, flat piece of flexible plastic about 18 to 20 inches long with tiny barbs running along both edges. Think of it like a miniature saw blade, except instead of cutting, those barbs grab onto hair and gunk and pull it straight out. That's your main tool. The only other things you'll need are a pair of rubber gloves because, trust me, what comes out of that drain is not pleasant. A couple of old rags or paper towels and a plastic grocery bag to throw the mess into. You probably already have all of that at home. So your total investment here is somewhere between $0 and $1. Compare that to a $12 bottle of chemical cleaner that doesn't even work permanently, or a $200 plumber visit. The math speaks for itself. Now, before you can use the drain strip, you need to get the stopper or screen out of the way. This is the part that trips most people up. but it's really simple once you know how. In a bathroom sink, most stoppers are the pop-up kind. You know, the ones connected to that little rod behind the faucet. To remove it, just grab the stopper and twist it counterclockwise about a quarter turn, then lift straight up. It should come right out. If it doesn't budge, reach under the sink and find the horizontal pivot rod. It's a small metal rod that connects to the vertical strap behind the drain pipe. There's a small clip holding it in place. Squeeze that clip, slide the rod out of the strap, and now the stopper lifts right out from above. For a bathtub, you've usually got one of two types, either a push and pull stopper or a lift and turn stopper. For the push and pull type, just pull it straight up and twist counterclockwise to unscrew it from the post. For the lift and turn style, lift it up, hold it in that position, and then turn counterclockwise until it unscrews. Some older tubs have a trip lever stopper with no visible plug in the drain at all. In that case, you've already got an open drain, and you can go right ahead. If you got a shower drain, pop the screen cover off with a flat head screwdriver. Just slide the blade under the edge and gently pry it up. Set all your parts aside somewhere safe so you don't lose them. And while you've got that stopper out, take a look at it. I guarantee there's already a clump of hair and soap wrapped around the bottom of it. Clean that off now. By the way, if you're finding this advice helpful, you should know it's just a small sample of what I've put into my new book, 100 Old House Fixes That Save You Thousands. It's packed with practical old house fixes that can help you avoid expensive repair bills. To grab your copy, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let's continue. Now, for the satisfying part, take your drain strip and slowly slide it straight down into the drain opening. You want to push it down gently until you feel resistance. Don't force it. On most bathroom sinks, you'll hit the clog about 3 to 4 inches down. On bathtubs, it might be 4 to 6 inches. You'll feel the barbs grab onto something. That's exactly what you want. Once you feel that resistance, slowly pull the strip back up. And I mean slowly. If you yank it out fast, you'll leave half the clog behind and splash dirty water everywhere. Nice, steady pressure, straight up. What comes out is going to look disgusting. I'm talking a thick, dark, slimy rope of hair and soap scum and things you don't even want to identify. Don't worry about it. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Wipe the strip off into your plastic bag and go right back in for another pass. I usually do 3 to 4 passes on a bathroom sink and 4 to 6 passes on a bathtub drain. You want to keep going until the strip comes out clean or nearly clean. Each time you pull it out, you'll notice less and less material on the barbs. When you're pulling up nothing but a thin film of residue, you're done. Here's a pro tip that makes a big difference. On your second and third passes, try twisting the strip gently as you push it down. Give it a slow rotation, maybe a quarter turn, so the barbs engage from a different angle. This helps you grab debris that's stuck to the sides of the pipe walls, not just sitting in the center. I've been doing this for years, and it's the difference between clearing 90% of the clog and getting almost all of it. One more thing. If you've got a double sink in the bathroom or kitchen, do both drains. They connect to the same drain line downstream. So a clog forming in one side affects the other. With the clog removed, it's time to flush the drain and make sure everything is flowing the way it should. Turn on your hot water tap and let it run for a solid 2 to 3 minutes. Hot water helps melt and flush away any remaining soap residue and loosen debris that the drain strip didn't pull out. You want to watch the drain carefully during this step. The water should swirl and disappear quickly with no pooling at all. If you had a really sluggish drain before, the difference is going to be dramatic. It should feel like a brand new drain. If the water is flowing freely, but maybe just a touch slower than you'd like, try one more pass with the drain strip, then flush with hot water again. On 95% of clogged drains, this is all you'll ever need. Now reinstall your stopper or screen the same way you removed it, just in reverse. Make sure the pop-up stopper seats properly and opens and closes when you pull the lift rod. For tub stoppers, screw them back on snug, but don't over-tighten. Hand tight, plus maybe 1/8 of a turn, is plenty. All right, so you've cleared the clog, and your drain is flowing beautifully. But remember, I promised you a way to keep it clear permanently. This is the part that really sets this method apart from everything else, and it costs you almost nothing. Once a month, I want you to do a simple hot water flush followed by a baking soda treatment. Here's exactly how. Boil a full kettle or large pot of water on your stove. While that's heating up, measure out about 1/2 cup of plain baking soda, the same stuff you probably already have in your fridge. Pour the baking soda directly into the drain, then slowly pour the boiling water down after it, a little at a time over about 30 seconds. The baking soda is mildly a bite enough to break down early buildup and deodorize, and the boiling water melts away any grease or soap film before it has a chance to accumulate. Now, one important note: if you have PVC drain pipes, which are the white plastic pipes common in homes built after about 1970, don't pour the boiling water all at once. PVC can handle hot water just fine during normal use, but a full pot of 212-degree water dumped in at once can soften the joints over time. Instead, let the boiled water cool for about 60 seconds before pouring. It'll still be plenty hot to do the job, around 180 degrees or so, but it won't stress your pipes. For older homes with cast iron or copper drain lines, go ahead and pour it at full boil. Those materials can take the heat without any issue. Do this once a month, and I'm telling you, you will not have a clogged drain again. I've been recommending this routine to homeowners for decades, and the ones who actually follow through never call me back for a slow drain. That's the permanent fix right there. A $1 drain strip to clear the clog, and a few cents worth of baking soda every month to keep it that way. Let's talk about some common problems you might run into and how to handle them. First, the drain strip won't go down more than 1 inch or 2. This usually means your drain has a tight crossbar opening, or the clog is packed so densely right at the top that the strip can't push through. Try running a little hot water for 30 seconds to soften things up. Then use the tip of the strip to work the clog loose with short, gentle pumping motions, going in about 1 inch and pulling back, over and over. That usually breaks the surface of the blockage enough for the strip to slide deeper. Second, the drain is still slow after several passes. If you've pulled out a bunch of debris but the water still isn't draining fast, the clog might be deeper in the pipe, past where the strip can reach. In that case, pick up a small hand-cranked drain auger, sometimes called a drum auger or plumber's snake. They cost about $15 to $20 and can reach clogs 20 to 25 feet down the line. Feed it into the drain, crank the handle clockwise when you hit resistance, and it'll either break through the clog or hook it so you can pull it back out. Third, you notice a bad smell coming from the drain even after clearing it. This is almost always a dry P-trap. Your P-trap is that U-shaped pipe under the sink, and it's supposed to hold a small amount of water that blocks sewer gases from coming up into your house. If a sink or shower hasn't been used in a while, that water evaporates. The fix is dead simple. Just run the water for 15 to 20 seconds to refill the trap. Smell gone. Fourth, the drain clogs again within a week or two, even after a thorough cleaning. This tells me the problem isn't at the drain opening. You likely have buildup further down the line, possibly at a junction where your drain line meets the main stack. This is one of those situations where a drain auger is your next step, or if you're not comfortable with that, it's worth calling a plumber for a one-time clean-out. Ask them to do a camera inspection while they're there. It's usually an extra $50 to $75, but it shows you the exact condition of your pipes so you know what you're dealing with long term. Fifth, you have a kitchen sink that keeps clogging, despite the baking soda treatment. Kitchen clogs are almost always grease-related. The baking soda and hot water routine works great for maintenance, but if grease has already built up significantly, you might need to remove the P-trap under the sink and clean it out by hand. Put a bucket underneath, unscrew the two slip nuts by hand, or with channel lock pliers, drop the trap, clean it out thoroughly, and reinstall. Takes about 10 minutes. Now, for that bonus tip I promised you at the beginning, and this one is completely free. The single best thing you can do to prevent drain clogs is to install a mesh drain screen over every drain in your house and clean it off every time you use the sink or shower. I'm not talking about the decorative drain cover that came with your fixture. I mean a fine mesh screen, the kind with tiny holes that catch hair, food particles, and debris before any of it ever enters the pipe. You can buy a pack of stainless steel mesh drain screens for $3 or $4, and they last for years. But here's a habit that makes them work. Every time you finish a shower, reach down, pick up the screen, tap the hair into the trash, and drop it back in. Every time you wash dishes, check the screen and clear it. It takes literally 2 seconds. I started doing this in my own home about 15 years ago, and I have not had a single clogged drain since, not one. That's because the clog never gets a chance to form. You're catching the problem before it starts, and that's always better than fixing it after the fact. Combine this habit with the monthly baking soda flush, and you've got a drain maintenance system that costs you practically nothing and works better than anything a plumbing company will try to sell you. Before you go, I want to make sure you know about my new book, 100 Old House Fixes that save you thousands. It goes deeper than we can in a single video, with practical fixes, warning signs, and simple steps for older homes. If you want to avoid expensive repair bills before you call a plumber, this book is for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching, And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.